Is okay, got it. And I think we'll record the session so that you'll have access to it later. Welcome to the AI Unplugged Mastermind. And today we're going to, and I think we'll record the session so that you'll have access to it later. Welcome to the AI Unplugged Mastermind. Don't know where that's today. We're going. Okay. I could not see where that was playing. Yeah. All right. There we go. And we have Lisa in here today. There have been some pretty significant updates. NVIDIA has released a desktop AI that you can use with your PC, and you don't have to be hooked to the internet to be able to use it. And it's it's a simple version of an LLM that you can host and have offline that kind of anybody can have access to. ChatGPT just did an update, and they have had so many service interruption problems. There's a little graph you can access that shows their service outage, and today the numbers are off the charts of service outage. So if you're doing anything with OpenAI, it might be having some issues. And they released a new feature that they're calling their memory, and you can improve the memory of your occurrence of ChatGPT with giving it more information. So that's, it's increasing what it's going to hold about you and remember about you. And that's kind of nice. I mean, most of us here were on Jasper, so it doesn't matter too much anyways, because we've got our nice, robust knowledge bases. Andrea, is there anything fun that you wanted to talk about this week?
I did actually want to talk about Jasper and some of the things that they're adding. It's in the beta right now. I can give you a little sneak peek, but since we're helpers in like the beta program, you won't have access to this yet. Let me share my screen. And from the looks of it, it looks very minimal on what you're getting, but I can say that I was playing with it today and really pushing the limits on it. And it does a lot more than they initially show you. But I also think that's because it's in beta. So they just haven't told you what's there, and they just make available the obvious things. So there's something over here on the left you'll see is insights. And I have connected our website, Google Analytics, to Jasper now. These numbers aren't working correctly at the moment, and this is part of like the bugs in the beta and all of this. And it's pulling from some staging sites and some sites in other places. But the idea is that you'll be able to see right away your top performing pages, users, event count, engagement time. So you'll see that these are all zeros, which isn't really accurate. So there's still some things they're working out there, which could be either the way our Google is set up, or it could be on their end. I actually had a meeting with them this week, and they're looking into that. But there's this report you can generate. And when you click that button, I'm just going to take you to what it gave me initially. Is this simple, I made it much more complicated. This simple report, this says, it gives you a summary of high performing pages, low performing pages, which pages were the high performing, like actually giving the URL, some of the page insights, low performing page group insights, and recommendations, which it was a good little bit of information, but I was like, is this all it can really do? So I started asking it some more questions, like about image optimization. So I asked it, could we tell me if there are images that need to be optimized, and give me the page that it's on. And it actually told me the hero image on AI in 2024 should be optimized because it's too large. It's probably slowing down the page. On the home page, use carousel images, and so it gave me each page and the recommendations for it. Then I asked it for some of our top performing keywords. I asked it about metadata, and I even asked it to suggest metadata descriptions for all of the pages, which it did. Initially, it's looking at AI smart marketing, AI smart law in a combination. So I then asked it, just give me metadata for AI smart marketing, and it gave me some metadata for pages that could be updated. Um, and I just kept asking more questions. So um, I wanted to show you this, Mackenzie. It was a UI question. I said, give me some UI improvement recommendations. And so it gave me pages and what needed to be fixed, like improve navigation, enhance readability. And on each one of these, you could expand. So in Jasper, it's really cool because you just hit the / and you can ask Jasper to like rewrite blah blah blah. And that's how I got all of this information is I just kept going on that report. So additional UI improvements for AI smart marketing gave us some things to do on the course page. So instead of having all of our modules listed out, we should do it differently so that it's, you know, you don't have to scroll so much. And so there are some UI things in here now, which is pretty cool. And I think if I asked it specifically, like, what do you think about these colors? Or do you think this should be higher up on the page? It probably will give you answers. So then I asked it to rewrite homepage content for AI smart marketing based on all of this. And it even separated it out in our levels of services, done for you, done with you, and teach you, and gave me a bunch of really good content there. So it's pretty cool. And I think it's only limited to the questions I can come up with. And so that's what I'm doing now is just I keep asking it more and just see what it will pull out and if it's good info. But every metadata description I pulled out so far and inserted into WordPress has gotten the green rating on Yoast, which means that Yoast is saying this is good and it checks all the boxes. So yeah, it's really promising. I mean, the beta, we just got it, like I said, Monday. So this is brand new in the world of the direct insights for your AI.
Okay, so Andrea, can I ask a question? You knew I was going to raise my hand, right?
Yeah, and I wanted you to know, Lisa, that I gave them your name to reach out to you so that you can be on the beta.
Great. I've had a hiccup with just having to deal with some HR issues, or we would have already signed our contract. We met with them and we're going to do a pilot program with them with our rewrite of our, what are they called? Products, SKUs, the 3,500 SKUs. And we'll definitely stay in touch through all that and continue to discuss. However, this really sounds like the money that we're bleeding to our SEO firm is going to disappear.
Yeah.
And it goes into UX UI.
Yeah.
Holy
I asked it because I
smokes.
was like, well, let me just see because I don't know. They haven't told me this is beta, but I'm like, let me see how far I can get in here. And this is probably like an hour or so of exploration. So I don't even know what I'll be able to do after this because then
Okay.
I asked it to actually write the page data and CTAs and meta and give me the keywords I should use and reformat the text using these keywords. So yes, like all of this can be done in here.
And is it intuitive enough to know that, say, on your banner, you only have 100 characters and it'll
Yeah.
stay within the 100 characters? Oh my gracious. Okay. This is exciting. I
Yeah.
wish I would have had time because you know what? I don't need to sleep.
Yeah. I know. And I just found this morning and I was just sending all these texts to the team like, oh my God, I just busted into Jasper and like broke the system. And like I was getting all these really great results of, um, yeah, I'm really surprised on the UI stuff and I want to test that some more, like asking it about page positioning or item positioning on the page or better
Andrea,
ways to format and all of that.
Why don't you screen share and ask it and see what happens so then they can see what happens when you ask it another question.
All right. I'm worried though because I took it into another path, but let's see if it'll work.
Okay. Or even if you inserted it above where the UX is.
So what I noticed about this, and maybe because it's in beta, is that you can only talk to the Jasper from the bottom.
Okay.
Uh, so let's see. This will all be about AI smart marketing. So we can ask it.
I
Um,
can see Mackenzie's wheels turning over there too. Because
well, and that's who I thought of first because she has been asking about UI
yeah.
AI. So, what's something you might want to ask your own AI, and I can apply it to this? Can anybody think of anything? How about, is there anything we should reposition on the main page? Um,
For better conversion.
yeah, let's try that. I'm gonna put in,
Yeah.
you won't have to do this for yours. We just have more than one URL in here. And if I don't say that, then it's gonna give me the suggestion probably for AI Smart Law. So usually when you ask a question, it will give you like a generic answer like this. And then what I usually do from there is say, give me the exact examples and where I should move them on the page. And then it tells me it's working right now. It doesn't usually take this long, but I think because I'm on Zoom and this, I've been making it think extra hard today. So but I was pretty excited by what I've seen even so far. Oh, it's giving me an error. Of course, you know what I want to show you.
Well, and back to the first, like the metrics, just as we're futzing around with this,
Mm-hmm.
does it give you metrics? I understand that it is the like your website. Will it do the same with your socials?
I don't, not yet. I know that they are
Yeah.
going to the social, but this first beta version is website only.
Why are they so slow? Like they're the masters of AI.
Are they really that slow?
Well, we already thought about it. You would think that they would.
Right? I don't think anybody can get or can keep up with our thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, my dev team does not like me.
Yeah. So it is giving kind of generic information on this one specifically. Well, not really, because these are the parts that are on our page. It's talking about consolidating the About Us and partner logos near the footer, so moving those down. So it is recommending some changes specifically for our pages. But what I thought was really cool is just like, are there any image, or no, I don't want to ask it, are there? Give me a list of images and what page they are on. That need alt text.
That's a good one.
Suggest the alt text to go to describe image. So like when I ask questions like, give me a list, it actually will. So like it's saying, we have a Google logo, but we don't have
Oh.
alt text, and here's what you should put on it. And so it'll do that with your It's doing it with our logos on like our little trusted partners section. Um, and then and I think these are coming from AI Smart Law. So that's why it's pulling ones that you may not see
Yeah,
from
it even
marketing because I
says,
wasn't specific, but it will tell you
but it says
exactly
it's,
what to
yeah, it
put
says
on
from AI smart marketing, but it's not.
there. Right. So this is a really cool tool you could use though. And I asked it earlier, like which images need to be optimized. So it quickly scanned a page and told me which ones and how it was affecting the page. So there's, again, like we're just limited to like the questions we can come up with. And this is all beta. So from here, it's just only going to get better. But I'm pretty surprised by what it brought in so far. Um,
Can it, you're gonna love this question. Can it A/B test?
I don't think so.
No, but it could give you, it would have insights if you have the A/B tests, it would have insights on the results. But
Yeah.
actually, we recommend multivariant testing, not just A/B testing, and doing it in a different way with ads first and then on the landing page. So there's a different approach that we
Mhm.
would suggest for this for
Okay,
testing.
okay. And then, what about like, it just UX UI, it brings me to Hotjar.
Yeah.
Like, would we use Jasper for that to help get conclusions? I mean, how would we get there?
What is the most
Ask,
clicked upon element on the home page?
I think, Lisa,
And then,
you should ask Jasper about this, but I also think that Hotjar is its own thing. And until it has that, because it tracks where people are going, not just where they click. So
mhm.
Yeah.
um, it's different data than this gets inputted. This gets inputted from Google Analytics.
Hmm.
Whereas Hotjar is
Ah,
even where
okay.
people are mousing over or where they're
Yep.
highlighting to read, all of those things and
Yeah,
how
it's
they
interesting.
scroll. Yeah.
It would be really great to pull both of those and look at them side by side too to really understand your customer behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point of this is like, so Google Analytics, it used to be to me more intuitive to look around in, and I find it kind of difficult to look around in now with the new GA4. But if you don't understand what that means or what that means for your company or how you what are some blog posts to raise these low performing pages, like what are some keywords I should go after now, tell me what blog posts I should write and the metadata and like all of that stuff. It's acting more, it was already intelligent, but now it has Google Analytics information to go with it, so it's actually seeing the data behind the words and the metrics and everything to give you even more informed content.
Yeah, Lisa, I can't wait until you get this.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie, because I want to see what insights it gives you, what it tells you, like just even as an experiment, like to see the difference. And because it's still AI, it's still not perfect. I'm really curious what other people's outputs are going to look like and how it's going to interpret your sites.
Even being able just to be like on this landing page, generate all alt text for every image instead of
Yeah.
me manually inputting, hey, I need alt text for this image, this image, this image, this image. It's just the URL and then my
Or
developer can
even
copy and paste.
knowing which
Yeah.
images don't have alt text instead of
Yep.
having to click on each one, go to the box, see if it's empty. Like it's just going to tell you, okay, these 20 need to be updated and here's what you should put in it. Not just what needs to be updated, but will actually tell you the words to copy and paste and put in there. I know because I did it this morning. And like I said, all the Yoast were green for the things that I put in there. So that's another like kind of a source of truth to know if is this BS it's giving me or is it accurate? Because when I put it in there, it turned green. So that's just another check. And not that that's the all knowing of everything, but it does give you that, like, it's not just a result that they're saying will do good because it's actually responding inside of WordPress and Yoast with good, like the green, measurement.
Okay, can I ask a question, a clarifying question? I'm not going to call it silly or stupid, but I want to make sure that I understand this. This is not just a marketing, like a social media. We can also use this for product merchandising, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it for, again, you're only limited by what you can think of to ask it. And I think that's, for me, I'm really good at research and ideology and all of that. So that's where I can think of questions that maybe um, someone else wouldn't even have thought that they could ask it. Like, I didn't know I can ask it any of these things this morning. I just started asking it, especially about the UI stuff, because I was like, well, let me see. What can it really do? And I was really surprised when it gave me something back. But now with the power of Google behind it, you can ask it questions with that information also before you get into it's like another filter. It's not even a filter, it's more of like another engine powering the content.
Yeah, it's part of your
So-
knowledge base. Do you
Mhm.
have a
Yes.
do you have a question you want to ask it, Lisa?
You know, let me just ask this other question. So all their metrics are going to be based on GA4.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, do I have a question I want to ask it? I had one earlier. I can't remember what it is. I mean, you blew my mind with the alt image tags
Yeah, right? I know.
because with 3,500 SKUs
Yeah,
and 4 pictures per SKU, you know how much manual work we did 3 years ago?
a lot. A lot.
Do you know how many Boise State interns we had working on that?
And you can just ask. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy amazing.
Crazy.
But like, again, I updated about 5 pages of metadata this morning just because of what it gave me. So I'm like, oh, well, shoot, I'm just going to do that because it's now I know it's missing. I have to put it in there. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes.
And another thing, maybe we can strategize at one point of like, who owns this, right? In your company.
Yeah, it is good to have a lead person or SOPs regarding how you're going to be handling Jasper, the knowledge base, the voice, and so on. We are creating those internally for our own team now because it's just so easy to start creating, but you need to make sure it's not garbage that number one you're creating or that's being added into the knowledge base because that's going to affect your outputs. So there does have to be either a process, an SOP, or like a lead person, or both, really.
Yeah. And it's not just on the marketing team, but also on, like, we have a product merchandising team. So it's going to be almost like a shared. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
That's
can
what,
split it up into departments. Like you can have someone managing all the merchandising or pricing or SKUs or whatever, and then you can have the marketing people like maintaining the message and the tone and then you can have this other group of people that are like the B2C specialized whatever, and so you can have different people depending on what the knowledge is, and you can have all those tags in your knowledge base to decipher that information.
Yeah, so one of the things that we were talking about is we have project management and we have data for all the different projects that we work on. And it might be meeting notes that are taken, and we take those AI notes and put them into the knowledge base because we're going to pull from them later. But those need to be separated from any marketing information. And so that's where our conversation started because our PM started getting into Jasper. And we're like, okay, we need to put some guidelines around this so PM stuff doesn't get mixed with marketing and messaging knowledge. And I think Jasper is going to have to redo the knowledge base and make it more segmented, because right now it's just one big jumble with tags, but it's still a bit jumbled. And so it's really important that each person entering information in the knowledge base tags everything appropriately, and that you have a record of how to tag the things, or the SOP. And that's what we're working on.
Yeah.
We have time scheduled to talk about that next week, of how we're tagging all the information that goes in there. So then when some other person who might be writing content, they don't pull in the wrong stuff. And especially like we're managing content for several clients, and it's all in one knowledge base. So we have to be really methodical in how we label everything.
Yeah. Okay. So thinking about that, just to go like, I'm very curious about this, because you do have to be careful. And if you start and you don't think about it right, then you're going to get yourself in a cleanup phase, which is even harder.
Yeah.
Definitely one of those slow down to speed up moments.
Yeah, but there are ways to do it, because you can see who has uploaded something. So if you know this person shouldn't really be updating, you could sort by that person. Or if you know you need to double check what person B is uploading, like, there are ways to do it without having to go through every single item. But it's just like with Google Drives or anything, right? Like if you don't have a way of organizing, the folders always get out of control.
Mackenzie,
And
did you have a comment?
A little bit of a devil's advocate on the use of this, but it goes with Lisa's, like, you have to be really careful, like slow down to speed up, and you have to have like oversight of it. So I had an SEO audit done today, because our organic traffic on the sites has really dropped, but we've been doing